Okay, so almost ready to take off here. We'll be taking off another day or so, heading south to lower 48. And for hauling the first load out, and well, I'll show you what I'm hauling out this trip. So as you can see, these are all my bikes and my ATV. I know we got the O2 Dyna wide glide sitting there. Got a little Suzuki 800 Intruder I'm going to restore, my four-wheeler. And then in the middle there, I got the Weiss moped right there. And then I've got my XL1200, 95 XL1200 right here, which is a spring little inner city bike. Man, that thing is a fun ride in town. And as you can see, I got everything strapped down, bolted down, screwed down, and tattooed down. I'm going to take it up to the weigh scales and see how much the trailer loaded weighs. I've already weighed the truck and I've empty, and I've weighed the trailer empty, and I weighed them together empty. And now I'm going to take it out and weigh, and then weigh everything loaded down, and that'll tell me how much the trailer itself weighs. I can just deduct the amount of weight for the total amount, and that's what the bikes and ATV weigh. And I also want to do a little shakedown. That's only about 3-5 miles away to the weigh scales. I want to do a little shakedown cruise to see how the straps are going to hold out, and see how it's going to ride and everything. Then if it works out, I'll come back. I'll wrap everything up in a tarp, tie it down, and then I can start loading up the pickup. Alright, so here I am. I'm at the scales now. So take a look here. As I said, I think in my last video, my wife, the boss, and I plan on moving back to Lower 48 next summer because our youngest will graduate from high school then, and none of our children have plans to stay up here. So there's really no reason for us to stay up here either, especially if our family's going to be in Lower 48. So that's what we're going to do, is move back next summer. And what I had planned on doing was hauling out my bikes this summer and storing them, so I'll be able to start riding them as soon as we get down there next summer. So I started Sunday, July the 21st, around 10 o'clock in the morning, and I really didn't stop for anything until I got to Washington State. And there's a reason for that will soon become apparent. And the next graphic you'll see will show about how far it is from North Pole to Spokane, Washington. It's over 2,000 miles, and so I did that in one straight shot, without stopping for anything except to get something to eat, catch a little sleep here and there in the pickup. And so this is what happened on the way to Washington State, and my experience in driving through what was an active serial killer's hunting ground. So I got to Watson Lake, which is in British Columbia, BC. And as you can tell, this is some of the thickest pea soup fog I have ever seen in my life. And I'm going to be driving through it. Check this out. That's some nice fog. All right, talk to you later. So I heard the first story just before I left Fairbanks. And, well, I'll tell you as it happened. So I'm in Fairbanks, loading up, and it made national news about this couple that had been found murdered on Highway 97, which is the Alaska Highway, the Alcan. Just a couple of days before I was due to leave. And look at this fog that I'm driving into. There was a young girl and her boyfriend had been killed. They were driving an old blue, I think it was just maybe a Chevy van, that they were traveling the world. You know, they were young and in love, and they had met each other while they were both traveling, and they fell in love and decided to travel the world together. And they were traveling through Canada, working their way through Canada, and this horrendous thing happened to them. And so I had decided to take an alternative route than the one that I was going to take, because that was the road that they had been killed on. And so I planned to take Highway 37, which is actually an hour shorter than Highway 97. And it takes both of them take you into the Washington-Montana border, U.S. Customs, where you go across back into the United States. So I left Sunday. This is now Tuesday morning. I left Sunday the 21st, I think. And yesterday, Monday, I was driving yesterday afternoon on my way in from between Whitehorse. I was between Whitehorse and Watson Lake. Pulled over to a rest area, and this logging truck, driver of this logging truck stopped by. We were talking, and he had pulled in, and he told me that he had just found out that on Highway 37, a few days before, these two young guys had been declared missing, and their pickup truck with a cab over camper on it had been found burning. Somebody had torched it, and a traveler, I guess, had gone by and saw it burning and called it in. So the troopers go out there. Look at this fog. The troopers, the RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, go out there. They don't find the two guys, but they find the body of an unidentified white guy. Looks eerily similar to me. So now we've got definite murders on both the Alaska Highway and Highway 37. So what do? I don't have a choice. I mean, I got to pick one. Since you want to have it as the other, so I decided to go back on the Alcan, the Alaska Highway, figuring that, you know, there's more traffic. If I break down, or if I need help, or just basically there's more traffic on. There's basically just more traffic on the Alaska Highway than there is on Highway 37, although it's arguably just as in the summertime. Jeez, look how thick this snow is. It's arguably just as popular in the summertime as the Alaska Highway is. I'm going to have to put this thing down and concentrate on driving. I'll get back to you on the story. Well, basically, that's it. I decided to take the original route instead, because you got killers on both, or it could be the same one. We don't know at this point. You got killers on both highways. It doesn't really matter which one you take. RCMP need dash cam video July 14th and 15th. Bison on highway, Muncho Lake, that's where my next stop, Yukon. Bison, cruise on highway, obey signs. What else? RCMP need dash cam video of Muncho Lake. That's where I'm headed. Please call the phone number. They're looking for video on that young couple that was killed. Okay, that's about it. So I just heard the news, local regional news up here in the northern DC area, and apparently, and I kid you not, there is now a third set of missing duos. Another set of young men, another pair of young men are now missing from this area. Now, I don't know about you, but that's coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences. So, I can't say that I do believe in coincidences, but the odds, probability of there being two definite people killed, and they just confirmed that they were killed by gunshot wounds on the news. And not one, but two sets of young men, you know, late teens, early 20s type age group, are missing. Tells me that there's either multiple killers up here, or there's at least one killer up here with what I would call a huge set of gonzos, because killers, even serial killers, as far as I know, don't normally attempt to take out multiple victims at one time. It's just so much easier and safer for them to eliminate one person at a time as opposed to two people. So either this guy, either we have one guy with a huge set of gonzos, or maybe a pair working together, which could then explain the four guys missing very easily. You know, two guys with two guns could easily overtake and overpower and intimidate two guys with no guns, because Canada does not allow, it's illegal to own handguns, and as far as I know in Canada, you can only own, as far as firearms go, you can only own shotguns and long rifles, long guns. So I guess now I'm driving through a killer's hunting grounds. Whether it's one or more, these are his or their hunting grounds. Can't wait to get the hell out of here. So you know what's spooky? Is I've been on the road now for about an hour. Started at roughly 6 o'clock and it's roughly 7 o'clock now. You know what's spooky? There's no traffic on the road at all. None. Except for me. Okay, maybe it's a little early. We should at least be seeing trucks on the highway, semis, hauling goods and stuff, food and stuff. I've seen maybe one vehicle in an hour. Hope it picks up. You don't see this very often. Not even in the US. There's a buffalo walking. Shit. Yeah, there's a buffalo walking straight ahead of us. See that thing? I would not come any closer than this. Yeah. That's a pretty animal. Look at that thing. Look at that beautiful animal. Born free. Okay, I'll back up. And he just, or she just keeps right on walking. They know we won't hurt them. They know that we don't hurt them. We won't hurt them. Isn't that a beautiful creature? Ride 'em, cowboy. You know, serial killers have hunting grounds. Now, they are much more intimately familiar with their hunting grounds than, say, one of us are when we go out on our annual moose or elk or deer hunt. We go to a new place that we're going to try out. We've never been to it before. These guys, and probably some women as well, but for the majority, most serial killers are men. These guys become intimately familiar with the area that they use for hunting. I'm sure the FBI has done studies to back this up. This isn't something that I just pull out of my head. The reason being, of course, is they don't want to get caught. They have exits, predefined extraction points. They put thought and effort into this shit. And this is what, up here, this is a serial killer's hunting ground. Nothing but, not just miles and miles, not just tens of miles, but hundreds of miles of wilderness. So they could very easily jump from Highway 97 to Highway 37 to this other part of northern BC where these last two sets of young men were declared missing. So that's now the second vehicle I've had passed or seen on this road in the last hour and a half to 2 hours. So I'm telling you, I saw a lot of people between Whitehorse and Haines Junction. A lot of people on the road, but and a lot of people between Whitehorse and Watson Lake. But Watson Lake is where highways 97 and 37 from the lower 48. If you enter Canada from Washington State or Montana, you can take either one of these up through BC, through the Yukon, into Alaska. And just on the west side of Watson Lake is where 97 and or 1, same thing, I guess it's 1, the Alaska Highway and 37 meet and join up, or 37 is rather, is where right maybe a couple of miles the other said, there's very little difference between either one on which one you take. So one thing I've noticed on 97 is from Whitehorse to Watson Lake, there are tons of rest areas that you can pull over and stop at. It seems like there's one every 15 or 20 miles. There's just tons of them. Since I left Watson Lake this morning, I haven't seen a single rest area, not one. I don't know if there's going to be more. There's going to be any further south, and closer we get to the U.S. border. But right now, I have not seen a single rest area between Watson Lake and where I am now. And so, Muncho Lake is going to be my first stop, and just north of Muncho Lake is Laird Hot Springs. Now, I opened the house, right? And Laird Hot Springs, in the vicinity of Laird Hot Springs, is where that first couple was found murdered last week. I'm not going to give out their names. Their family is grieving. This just happened, and there's no reason to intrude on a family's grief like that. I know my wife and I have 4 children of our own, all grown now, but we would just be devastated if something happened to one of our children. So I don't know exactly how they feel, but I know I would not want to be in either one of those kids' parents' shoes. Because, parents are supposed to die before their children die, not the other way around. So that's just such a sad state of affairs for them. Check this out. You just don't see that every day. So I was telling you how desolate, meaning lack of people, this country is as far as killing grounds go. Check this out. Yeah, it's a beautiful country. God's green earth. But there's no one around to watch you. So if you were going through a serial killer's hunting grounds, you really wouldn't want to go through it with the weather looking like this. It's too ominous. Too foreboding. But I don't have a choice. I'm already on the road, can't turn around and go back 500 or 1,000 miles. Gotta keep pushing forward. Gotta get in sunny weather so I can start riding again. Now this is what I call hardcore. That's tough. That's a tough man there. So one thing you don't want to do, in case you meet up with this serial killer on his own terms, in his own hunting grounds, since this first pair, man and woman, were killed by gunshot, that means he's got a gun. I don't know if they haven't said if it's a handgun or, like I said, a handgun or a rifle or a shotgun, but still it's a gun. And got out here, got somebody wanting to pass, and the trucks, believe it or not, actually got traffic on the road. But the one thing you don't want to do is bring a knife to a gunfight. That's for damn sure.